Good morning and a live look outside to start your Monday because the snow, well, simply put, it is coming down and it has been going on all night. A ton of snow and we have you covered all morning long. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dave Chudowski in with Holly Strano and Matt Wintz this morning. So we have a weather duo, tag team weather for this big snow day today.
So lucky to have you here, Matt. Thank you for coming in.
Well, you too. We're lucky to have the whole team in house.
Let's just have a little hug here. This is nice.
Hug.
Yeah.
I wish our hands would go into the other shots. You know, Jimmy Fallon does that sometime. But yeah, so I've got a track of your roads this morning. Keep an eye on the traffic. I've taken a look at that. We've also got radar coverage. But Holly's here first with look at what else is going on.
And I'll tell you what, there's been plenty. And we have not stopped talking between the three of us about our drives and commutes and what we've been dealing with just as far as getting in. Here's a quick little glance at current radar, which Matt is going to go into much greater detail on. Couple bands of heavier snow, absolutely. But we are starting to see hints that this is going to be tapering off, which will happen later this morning, but then we'll be dealing with some lake effect. And there is a whole lot of snow on the ground. And Matt's going to get into some of the preliminary totals that we already have. Temperatures are in the 20s. Wind chills are generally in the teens. It does feel like 7 in Mansfield. Sustained winds today, anywhere from 15 to 25 to 30, with gusts as high as 40. So it's never going to feel like these upper 20s, which is where we are going to stay steady and end up as highs. We'll continue with snow from the system itself this morning. It'll taper. We'll be talking windy weather throughout the day. That's the symbol that you see on the right-hand side of your TV. And then we'll start to see some lake effect snow showers evolve. So those of you within the primary and even secondary snow belts, I mean, that's just going to be adding insult to injury at that point with as much snow that we've been getting reports of. I can tell you when I left my house really early this morning, when hopefully you were getting some sleep, there was already 6 inches of snow on the ground. And Matt's been talking about reports of 12, 13 inches in other areas. So snowy and windy. And then we'll see scattered lake effect snow showers as we get into the afternoon. It'll remain blustery. We'll have more scattered lake effect snow early tonight, more or less. Could have a few leftovers into early tomorrow. Notice temperatures really don't budge. And again, remember those wind chills will make it feel colder throughout the day. So just to kind of wrap it up here and get over to Matt, here's what's happening on radar. Winter storm warnings do continue through 4 o'clock today. And Matt, you're literally going to, basically depict what we need to know as far as when this actually moves out today. Lake effect and where we're seeing the heaviest now, because it's been something.
Yeah, it really has. And if you're just waking up to all this morning, folks, it really ramped up last night as expected. Between about the 1 o'clock and the 4 o'clock hour, we saw some of the heaviest snowfall rates, anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of snow an hour. And that's really impressive for the atmosphere to be able to wring out that much moisture. We had near whiteout conditions across a good portion of northern Ohio. So in terms of the radar setup, this is what we've got right now. You can see how everything kind of wrapping around the backside of that low. The thing that I think will kind of take over here over the next hour or so is this band right here coming into Ashland and Lorain County. That band will likely continue to intensify and move through the Cleveland area, eventually Akron later on this morning. Whereas this stuff over here, yeah, it's still coming down, but that's not the most impressive rate that we've seen so far this morning. So where it's snowing heavily right now, we've got decent snowfall rates on the west side. As you get back into Lorain County, Elyria seeing some decent snow that heads down in the LaGrange along areas of 303. That stretches further south in the western areas of Medina County. Medina, you're getting a little break right now, but that will likely ramp up as I anticipate that strengthening of that band as it kind of curls on in, and then that eventually heads down south into the Ashland area. Still snowing pretty good clip from Akron down towards Canton and then up towards the Ashtabula area. Pretty decent snow falling from Jefferson back towards the Williamsfield area. This system continues to wind up. We're on the backside. That is the sweet spot right on the backside of the low. We also had some warmer air aloft that moved in. Right in here is where you get the most prolific snowfall rates with a lot of lift in the atmosphere, and we certainly had that. We fell just perfectly in terms of where this storm system produces the heaviest snow. And again, we've got a couple more hours of system snow, and then eventually the system will pull out, and as Holly mentioned, we'll deal with some lake effect later on. Travel's a mess outside. I don't need to tell you that. You get out towards the west, that's where it improves, out towards Sandusky. Toledo had clear skies over overnight. They're not dealing with any problems out there, but we've got numerous problems. 480, 77 want to be avoided right now because we've got numerous cars that are just stuck in exit ramps. We've got upwards of 2 feet of snow in some of those drifts there, and then down towards Akron as you get up towards State Route 8 and 76, that interchange, we've got problems there. In terms of the airport cancellations, Hopkins, latest check, 18 outbound flights have been canceled, 12 inbound flights as well. And new this morning, there is a parking ban that goes into effect for the city of Cleveland. Goes from 8 o'clock this morning till 8 o'clock tonight so that the city can keep clearing the roads. Vehicles in violation of the ban can be cited and towed. That's, of course, if they can find your car. We've got team coverage this morning. Our own Lindsey Buckingham and Isabel Lawrence are out and about, keeping an eye on conditions for us. First, let's turn things over to Lindsey now out in Twinsburg. Good morning, Lindsey. Hopefully you're staying warm. I see that wind and the snow gusting around there.
Good morning to you, Matt. Yeah, we're dealing with a lot of blowing and drifting in Twinsburg. We're off of Wilcox Road in this parking lot. I have to tell you, the plow truck drivers were out in full force starting at 4 a.m. and there's already a coating despite all that hard work. Elsewhere, ODOT is hitting this area really hard. They have 25 crews out on the ground in Summit County alone. The preparation, though, started on Friday with some pre-treating of the roads. In case you're not familiar, that's when they lay down a brine solution made up of salt and tap water on the roads. And also, the Summit County Sheriff's Office upgraded its snow emergency from a level 1 to a level 2. That's because of that blowing and drifting, warning people not to be on the roadways at all unless they absolutely have to. Also, Twinsburg police telling me that they haven't had a lot of accidents, but they have had a lot of cars getting stuck in the snow. It's probably because of this. You can see how much has accumulated. If you take a ruler and put it right here, you're looking close to about 4.5 inches. So, Matt, we're going to stay in Summit County and Dave, rather, and we'll check conditions and we'll let you know when you come back to us in a little bit.
Yeah, good information and visuals there for sure. Saw a lot of cars stranded on the ride in this morning, so be careful. Okay, Lindsey, thank you. We'll talk to you in just a bit, but another area hit hard this morning right here in Cleveland. Isabel Lawrence is getting a look at conditions outside in the Ohio City area. Isabel, good morning to you.
Good morning, Dave. My first time here on Go, my first Ohio winter storm, and I have to say, this stuff is serious. We are here in Ohio City, like you mentioned, just off of Detroit Avenue near West 45th here, and it looks as if all of those residential side roads haven't really been touched yet in this area. I kind of took a loop here as we were coming to location, and I have to say, I have a Jeep 4-wheel drive. I actually got stuck, had to get out of my car and shovel myself out, so do make sure that you are prepared with that snow gear here. It looked as if West 45th was plowed. Detroit here looks as if it kind of had that preliminary sweep with the plow, but again, so much drifting and blowing going on out here that the road is still covered up. We are right across from the Shoreway as well. We did see 3 plows just going by in succession, but still very, very slippery out there. Actually did just see one car slide off into the shoulder and then kind of have to put it in reverse, kind of jimmying back and forth to get back onto that main road and on their way. So please, if you are on the roads today, be careful. If you don't have to be out on the roads, perhaps stay inside, Dave.
Yeah, great advice. There were times I was wondering if I was going to get through to get in this morning myself, and there are some cars that just simply can't make it and battle that snow. So thank you, Isabel. We'll see you later on here this morning. And our coverage will continue throughout the morning, and while there is no school today, some activities across the region are being canceled due to the snow. Get iAlert closings and delays sent to your phone by texting closings to 216-344-3300. Remember, that is a text, not a phone call.